Good morning, everybody. This is Liz Smith. I am the Council Staff Advisor for the popcorn sale this year. And we want to go ahead and get our presentation going so everybody can get out there and get on with their busy days. First, I wanted to announce everybody that's on our committee this year. The council advisor, popcorn kernel, is Jennifer Huffman. Here. Our Berry District Colonel is Cheryl Anderson, and I don't know if Cheryl's in the room or still out at the check-in table. The Penjahami District co-chairs are Heather Palmer and Russ Raber, who is our new District Executive Field Director. The show and sell site coordinator is Kevin George, and he's unable to be here this weekend because he's camping. But his lovely wife Cindy is here, representing. And members at large are Tricia Burke and Diane Forsyth. Tricia is here, and she will also be presenting part of the presentation this morning to everyone. With that, I would like to introduce a very special young man. Peyton Palmer's with BHAC, and he was last year's top salesman for the council at $4,656.
Good morning, Scouters. My name is Peyton. I'm a scout with BHAC. We're selling popcorn to help raise money for our pack. You can help us by trying some of our delicious popcorn. You will help us, won't you? That is what I say every time I go out and sell. And this uniform I am wearing right now is what I have to wear every time I go out and sell. It informs people that I am a scout. And every time before I go out and sell, I always set a goal. And I also use every single window of opportunity I can to go and sell. And I also sell popcorn just to get prizes. Prizes are the biggest reason I do it. Me and my parents always put thank yous on the popcorn when we go out to hand them out. Does anybody have any questions?
I do. I have a question for you, Peyton. What windows of opportunity are you describing? When do you actually go out and take the time to sell?
After school, on weekends, pretty much any time I am not doing anything.
Thank you. Also, I want to know, what if you come up and knock on someone's door and they say no thank you?
I always say thank you for your time, even if they say no.
At the end of the sale, I have one more question for you. How soon do you get out there and make sure that all of your popcorn is delivered?
Immediately.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Peyton. Great job. Okay, we have another special young man that's going to be doing a presentation for us again. This is last year's top-selling Boy Scout, Payson Benet. Benuet. I am so sorry, you guys. I always pronounce your name wrong. I'm very sorry. And he sold $3,755, and we're very happy to have him here with us today.
Hi, I'm Payson with Troop 1187, and I'm a second-class scout. I have been selling popcorn for 6 years, since I was a Tiger Cub scout. The first thing I do when I'm going out to sell popcorn is I set goals. I think goals that are, I think they're the most important thing, because you need to know when to stop, and if you have a goal, when you reach it, you feel good than if you just went out and sold and didn't have a goal. Okay, and I think it's also important, I always do this, I know the brochure and all the products that I'm selling. That way, when somebody asks me what I'm selling, I can just start saying the things instead of having to read the pamphlet, because I just think that looks more professional. And I like to do that. And I think I get more sales by doing that. Okay, and I think it's also important, and I always do this to sign up for show and sells, because I sell more popcorn by doing that than just going door to door. And I think that that also works. Okay, and I think it's also important that I should know what the money is going for, because I've had this happen a lot to me. Somebody will ask me, okay, what's the money going for, because I know I'm not paying $25 for a box of popcorn, you know? So I will say that, okay, our troop needs new tents, or that it's going to pay for summer camps, or something like that. And I think that that gives them more, they want to buy the popcorn more because they know what it's going for. And I think that that is better. And I think it's also important that I wear my uniform to when I go selling all the time. That way, I think it makes you look more professional, and when it's clean stuff, that way it just looks more professional than if you go out there in like a t-shirt and blue jeans. I think that that just looks better if you're wearing your uniform. Okay, and I think it's also important to dedicate yourself to what you're doing, to selling popcorn. That way, when you put more effort into it, and then you'll sell more popcorn by doing that. So I think that's important. Okay, and I think I always, when I'm going out there and I'm selling, I always remember that I'm a scout and that I need to be respectful to the people and their property, you know. If I'm going door to door, I just don't want to cross the grass. I make sure I use the sidewalks and stuff. And I think that that's just more important. That way they know that you care and stuff. I think that that's good. Any questions?
Of course we have questions for you. Do you ever get nervous going out selling door to door, or what information can you give to these parents for their cubbies that are nervous about going door to door?
Well, I think that every door to door that you do, if you go to a door and they say no, then that's always one closer to a yes. If you have to go through 50 doors and they all give you no's, it's always one closer to a yes, and that just, I always keep that in my mind, and that just kind of helps you keep going.
That's positive. Positive thinking. Anybody else?
I got one. Do you find it harder to sell popcorn as a Boy Scout than you did as a little tiny Girl Scout?
Not really. I think it's kind of just the same.
Okay, great job, great job. Awesome. These are the items that we're going to be going over this afternoon, well, this morning, before this afternoon. And without further ado, I will introduce Jennifer Huffman to speak about the first item.
Well, I guess I could talk with two of them. Nah, I don't need it. So I'm Jennifer Huffman, for those that haven't met me yet. I was last year, I was part of BHAC 16, now this year I'm part of Troop 16. However, I'm still continuing to be the council's popcorn colonel. And that's quite a, I love doing this, it's fun. So the first thing you want to do for this year's popcorn selling is you need to educate your unit. Okay, you've got lots of handouts, pamphlets, the guidebook to go through. And I know one thing we did as BHAC 16 is we had an actual popcorn training meeting, and that's all we covered through there was just about the popcorn, what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how to do it. So you need to work on building your program activities and your sales plan. You need to have a budget plan. How much popcorn do you need to sell in order to have this be a free program for you? Because that's the one key thing that a lot of parents are trying to do, is they want this to be free, and it can be. All you got to do is you got to sell your popcorn. The other thing is, for your meeting, is you need to talk about your sales approach. You know, are you going to use the little saying that Peyton had when he was up here? That's what Michael Beck had taught us last year for the popcorn sales, was to use that, and that actually proved to be quite effective. You also need to have your kids set goals. Each individual scout should have a set goal of how much popcorn he's wanting to achieve, as well as the pack needs to have their goal on what they want to achieve. So what motivates the scouts to do this? Well, as you can tell, Peyton said that the prizes. We've got all these GCC prizes over here, and it's going to work just like it did last year. There's the scale of how much you sell is what prizes you want. So if that's what you think is going to motivate your scout, have them pick out, okay, which prize are you going to be aiming for? Okay, look at what price range you're looking at, and then that should be their set goal that they want for those prizes. You need to promote the prizes. Remind the kids that this is what they're working for. Because eventually it's going to seem tedious with them going door to door, and they're going to forget about why exactly they're doing this, especially when we've had this hot weather out here too. They're going to not be quite so motivated going door to door with that heat. So keep reminding them why it is they're doing this, the prizes that they're going to achieve, the accomplishments that they're going to have by being able to go door to door, get past that nervousness and that fear, and do something to support this wonderful program. Execute a strong communication plan. You need to make sure that each parent has a number that they can call. If they have a question about popcorn, who are they going to call? They're going to call their popcorn colonel. Okay, their popcorn colonel needs to be reachable. They need to be able to be emailed, be called, and one thing that they should have set is with your popcorn colonel, when he or she receives a phone call, an email, they should get a response back within 24 hours. I mean, the popcorn sale is not very long. We can't keep holding on to questions when we've still got a couple of weeks ahead of us. Implement your plan. That is another thing that you need to be strong and be sure that you're doing. You set a plan, stick with it. Don't back out of it. Don't change things at the last minute. So our sales. Communication of what the popcorn sale funds. Like I was saying, you need to be sure that these people that are buying your popcorn are understanding why is it that they have to spend more money buying popcorn from Boy Scouts than if they were to go to Walmart and buy a package of popcorn from there. That money is funding like tents for the troop. It's funding their summer camp. Any supplies that the pack or troop needs or that the individual scout needs to benefit from this program. Unit commissions and incentives. The unit commissions need to be addressed to the parents so they understand that it's not just the individual scout, it's the unit as a whole to be able to go out and do these activities that are costing money so it's not coming right out of the parent's pocket. Dates. In your guidebook, there are specific dates that are listed as far as when the orders are due for your show and sells and for your take orders. Those dates are very important because we cannot budge on those. They're there for a reason. Distribution. That also falls under the dates. It'll list, the dates are listed. I don't have all the dates memorized, sorry. The dates are listed on when we're picking up popcorn. I know Pinchahami will be doing the Fisher beverage again. Pine Tree is Hill City Harbor Hanks, and Bear Butte is the Armory again. So be sure you note those dates down on when the popcorn is going to be picked up because we expect it to be picked up that day. It doesn't have to be the popcorn colonel that picks it up. However, somebody's got to be there as a representative and pick up the popcorn. Key contacts. In the guidebook, you've got your key contacts. First person that a parent should call, I thought I bumped the button. First person the parent should call is the unit-specific popcorn colonel. Okay, if that unit colonel cannot answer a question, then the unit colonel needs to call the district one. And then if the district popcorn colonel has a question, they will call me. All those phone numbers are made readily available for those people so that we've got a little chain of command here for any questions that need to be resolved. Now, as a parent, you need to keep in mind that if your unit colonel doesn't have the answer, it's going to take them a little bit of time to also get a hold of the district or the council representative to get your questions answered. I've mentioned the guidebook already a couple times before. It's got your 2012 sales program details, supported sale types, prizes and incentives, and the Camp Master website, and available tools and promotional items. This year we do have unit kickoff kits. There are going to be 3 that are going to be raffled off, and those are the Camp Masters kickoff kits. Each unit is going to get an individual kit that's going to contain a microwavable popcorn, 2 streamers, and then some balloons too. With your unit kickoffs, that would be like your PAC meeting or troop meeting that I mentioned, where you're informing your parents and everything of how the program's going to work, what sales you're going to do, and, oh, I thought you were going to say something. It's got your posters and other goodies, and then you've got your guidebook, your order form, and your prize brochures. Be sure to remember it's the same as last year with those prizes. Your troop or PAC does not have to do these GCC prizes. Okay? They can have their own individual goal set of how much the scout has to sell in order to receive something from the unit. Also, we are doing again the marshmallow shooters. I've got this one separate since it's not a GCC. That's for the fill a sheet prize. If your scout fills a sheet, make a copy of it, turn it into the council. I'm not sure, now Liz stepped out when I was going to ask something. They're going to be doing those drawings once a week. I know last year I think we held them on Wednesday. I'm not sure if we're going to do it on Wednesday again this year. And then I know we're working on trying to get some other weekly prizes as well. And if we do, we will be sure to let you know exactly what those prizes are. If you go to the campmasters.org website, you can have your product descriptions are on there, online sales administration, your popcornordering.com for internet-based sales, graphics, and training items and helpful information can be found on that website. I think some of this is just a little bit repetitive, but if it's repetitive, that means it's important. Plan your program and activities. How is your program going to operate this year based on your popcorn sales? Create your budget and create your calendar. Now is the perfect time to be doing it prior to selling the popcorn. You want to know exactly how much you need to encourage these scouts, motivate them to get them out and sell. You don't want to, after the sales, say, okay, we made this much money, how much can we afford to do? No, you need to motivate them ahead of time, saying we need to earn this much in order to do all of this. Your sales are going to be a lot higher if you do it beforehand. Identify your goals with this, the scout goals and the unit goals, in with your budget of how much you need to sell. Develop and communicate your unit incentives. Be sure you're sending out like emails, reminders, what it is that these kids are going to be achieving by selling their popcorn. Promote your prize program, whether it be the GCC, which there's going to be the, should be in your handout of what the GCC scale prizes are. And if you're not using that, you need to be sure all your parents have an email of what it is your unit's going to be doing. Provide the parents with the parent handout. On fundraising particulars, goals, and projected outcomes. Clearly state what's in it for them. Why should they send their scout out door to door selling popcorn? Why do they need to put this effort into them? Well, it's simple. The program will be free, get that free, if you sell enough popcorn. But you also need to make sure that the parents know what the goals are. What is expected of each scout? You know, in order for your incentives to be higher for the unit. Put your plan into action to reach your goals. That's the only way you're going to reach your goal is if you put that plan into action of how much you need to sell. Goal setting is critical. If you don't have a goal set and you're just sending everybody out there to sell door to door, you're not going to achieve as much as you had planned to. These goals are going to motivate your kids to go out and sell more popcorn. Research shows that less than half of all parents indicate that their scouts set an individual goal. Less than half. So imagine how much more your scout's going to be able to sell if they have a goal. I want that to be your goal for today. I want you to jot down that you are going to have your scout set a goal. You know, if they exceed their goal, wonderful. If they reach their goal, great. If they don't quite make it there, You need to motivate them a little bit more. Check on their goal. How close are they getting to their goal each week of our sales? Cub Scouts that set goals do so based on the prize program. Like I mentioned a little bit before, they see a prize they want, you look at your guide sheet on how much they have to sell in order to obtain that, and keep them motivated about it. Remind them of what it is that they chose, and maybe a reason of why they chose it. Scouts and units that set goals sell 2 times as much as those without goals. 2 times. So if last year your unit didn't set any goals, imagine how much more you're going to sell this year if it's 2 times last year if everybody has their own goals. Scouts who set goals average over 600 in sales. And I think this year we're having it the same, that per boy average, 628 for per boy average. Identify the type of sales approaches your unit and scouts will employ. Your show and sells. How are you going to have those set up? Your marketing and selling in public locations is taught by the Camp Masters training program. Those that saw Michael Beck last year, that's the program we're talking about. And you can go onto, does Camp Masters have it? Yeah, Camp Masters website has it listed on there about Michael Beck's program. I also, just before this started, my phone started acting out. I was trying to Google to see if there was a video, because I know there was some CDs that had his presentation on it. So I'm not sure if that's an option or not to find out, or to see his video if you didn't get to see him last year. Show and deliver, marketing and selling in your neighborhood with the product on hand. I know some units chose to try to do this last year and some units did not. But imagine if you've got your product in hand, the person is going to be more likely to buy it right then and there. They're going to see the product, want the product, it's there. They don't have to worry about, okay, well, when am I going to get my product? Am I really going to get my product? There's none of that worrying about getting the product when you've got it right there. Your take orders, your marketing and selling in your neighborhood. If you don't have any more product on hand, do your take orders. We're also, I think, doing some take orders at show and sells because we don't get the chocolate popcorn, and is there any other, or it's just the chocolate?
They won't ship chocolate early, but also it's the military donations. But just because you have that product on sale on hand, that also you still have the opportunity to use your take order form, and they might even buy more that you can bring back to them later.
So the chocolate won't be sold again, so we won't have that on hand. 70% of consumers approached by a scout at their home will make a purchase. You're taking your time out of your busy day to go to their house and sell. They're going to be more likely to buy from you than if you're just passing them by or give them a call or anything like that. If you're taking your time to approach them at their house, their private area, they're going to be more likely to buy. Top selling units employ 2 or all 3 approaches to maximize their sale. So you can choose one of these, 2 of these, or all 3 of them, depending on how many kids you have, what your goals are set of how much you want to sell. If you can do all 3, that would be the absolute best thing that you can do to benefit from selling more product.
Another tool that we also have, I know that we tried to discuss cheaper shipping rates, but the online ordering is also available if you have family or friends that are far away.
That's my next slide. You're a step ahead of me. So like Liz talked about, the selling online. Selling popcorn online allows the scouts to reach their extended family. If you've got family in like Florida, Arkansas, somewhere else that you can't get a popcorn to, you can do the sales online. And the nice part about this is the product never actually comes to you. You don't receive the product and have to mail it to them. Camp Masters does that for you. They'll actually mail the product to the person that's ordering it. Benefits of selling online drives incremental sales and funds raised. So it's one more step, one more way for you to get out there, sell more popcorn, and increase your sales. I was a step ahead of myself. Direct delivery. Consumers get their products shipped directly from Camp Masters. Online sales are included in the Scout sales totals. It does show up for us of how much the Scout is sold for the online sales, so you don't have to worry about if they're going to be getting credit for that. The Scout will, because it's under their individual accounts. A Scout can send emails to family and friends directly from their popcornordering.com account. They don't have to worry about listing everything out. This website will do that for you.
One more thing about the online sales. Since everything's handled through Camp Masters, how you would receive your commissions off of that are at the end of the sale, they send us a report, and then the council will cut checks to those units who have online sales for their commissions.
Okay, and like I've said a couple of times, okay, remember I mentioned to you, if it's repetitive, that means it's important. Motivate your Scouts. Okay, they need that motivation to keep them going through. Some of them, this 3 weeks might be a breeze, and some of them after the first week they're kind of dragging. You need to motivate them to keep them going, keep them energized about popcorn. How are you going to do that? One of the ways you're going to do that is you staying motivated yourself. Okay, what motivates parents? Money. Money. Everything costs money.
Happy kids.
Happy kids too. Okay, how do we make happy kids? Scouting. Okay, we don't want all that money coming out of our pockets, do we? No. To keep us happy, we keep them happy by not having to pay for the program and selling popcorn. So plan, communicate, and implement planned events to recognize your Scout. Communicate your unit goals and what it means for them. Share a vision of why the unit's conducting the sale, including the outcome if your goal is achieved. Share the council-sponsored initiatives that are an outcome of the popcorn sales, facility, camp improvements, programs, etc. Present and promote the prize program of Camp Masters or council and unit incentives. Get the GCC prize brochures in your Scouts' hands. Inform them of additional Camp Masters, council, and unit incentive awards. You know, the council is going to be doing the fill sheet. So what exactly, even if you are going to do the GCC prizes, does your unit want to do other prizes on top of that? Like if the unit goal, if you're reaching it like a halfway point or a quarter point, do you guys want to do just a small pizza party as a PAC meeting or a troop meeting? Keep them motivated throughout the 3 weeks. Don't just expect to give them recognition after the 3 weeks is over. Do something in the middle to keep them motivated. Emphasize what's in it for them. What are they going to benefit from doing all this work? Does anybody have any questions about what I've gone over? Yes?
When you do the online sales, who pays the postage?
The person that's ordering is going to pay the shipping on that.
You know, like say on a $25 item, what would that cost them to get that popcorn?
That's one thing that we've tried to negotiate with Camp Masters the last couple of years, because this was a point of concern last year. I believe it's around $5 to $10 in shipping. And then they told me that that's their negotiated rate, so unfortunately that's what we have to go with.
Anybody else? Yeah.
I know in the past the online orders did not count council prizes, is that correct?
The first year we did online, it did not. But as of last year, it did, and you can see that on the spreadsheet of earnings, that it did go, and it will continue to count this year.
Okay.
So then when you go online to register your troop or PAC, are there any Scouts entered if you haven't done it before, or do you have to enter that all by hand?
You are probably going to have to enter that. I'm going to have to get back with you on that, because they've completely revamped their website, and I know there was a lot of information that they were able to transfer over onto this new site that they just built this year, and there's some items that they might not have been able to, so let me check into that, and I will send an e-blast out to all of the unit colonels and let them know.
Okay, he's coming with the microphone here so everybody can hear what the question is.
What's the exact percentage of the money that stays locally?
It's 70%. Well, 70% of the total sale, but out of that 70%, of course, we have to pay for the popcorn and tax on the popcorn.
Okay.
The council does.
Anybody else?
Don't be shy by the microphone.
You know what, that was wrong. That was wrong. 30% is what we pay for the product. The 70% that stays here, that's actually stays with the council and with units.
Do you have a breakdown of what we have a lot of parents that are encouraging their scouts to use the money towards National Jamboree, so if they have a specific amount that they want for their scout, do you know what the percentage is of the scout sale that actually will go into their individual scout account? So that can help them set their goals?
That's going to actually be up to the unit, because there's a certain percentage that each unit is going to have for the troop or the pack from the popcorn sales, and it's up to the unit to decide what percentage will actually go to the individual scout. So you'll have to ask your unit colonel what they've decided on that.
Last year, the council paid all the taxes and shipping and stuff, and really took a pretty big hit on that. Are the units going to be responsible for any of those to help defray some of the expense for the council?
Well, the shipping actually on the first two, the take order and the show and sell, Ramsey covers that, or Camp Masters, they're known by both names, covers that. That's why if there's any additional ordering that needs to take place after that take order sale, which is the one that's placed in October, then that unit is responsible for paying the shipping charges on that. The council just takes care of the tax on everything. It's the council fundraiser, so. But thank you, Ray.
So another reason why those dates are so important and why we're not budging on those dates is because there's some cost involved here too if you've got to put in an extra order. So, but the unit will be eating that cost if you go beyond your date. So make sure all your parents have the date in mind. I think last year as a unit what we did was actually tell the parents that the take orders had to be turned into the unit, like I think 3 days before the actual date was due, so that way in case there was one person that was late, it wouldn't affect the unit.
Can we share orders like we have in the past? Like if I've got one kettle corn, can I see if another unit has a kettle corn and I can buy it from them?
Oh, definitely. That helps me so much. This year we did, which I'll be addressing later, we put a cap on what can be returned from the show and sell items. It can only be 10% of the overall unit's order. Because I was getting, last year, I had a couple of units that turned in practically everything they ordered, and I don't have storage for it. And I can always roll that order in and deduct it out of the take order, which is the last order that I make, but it's a lot more work, and plus I worry about stuff being left in the basement and not walking off because it's not really secure down there. So yeah, that's very much encouraged.
For new people just coming into this, if we meet all the whistles and bangs, you know, we're at this meeting, we meet all our deadlines, what is the most percentage of profit that the unit could make?
I'm going to be covering commissions, Diane, at the end, but it is 32%. It's a base commission. It's just the same as it was last year, but we've added this year our program, Popcorn Equals Program Platform, and that had last year it was a 50% commission incentive. This year we have another addition we're going to add to that too, so.
Thank you.
Okay, if there's no more questions, then Tricia Burke from PAC 28 will be coming to talk to you next.
Good morning. I'm Tricia Burke, and I'm with PAC 28. My son just started Cub Scouts last fall. So this is we're going into our second year, and this is my first year being the Popcorn Colonel. Thank you. And so I'm kind of learning with this whole show, as some of you are today too. Camp Masters goes beyond just a simple prize program by adding additional incentives. And this allows us to recognize their major sale contributions. To recognize and reward high sale performance, Camp Masters offers one of the following achievement programs. Qualifying scouts must submit a Camp Masters High Achievers form through their guidebook, and you can also find the form on these two following websites. For every scout that completes a full take order form, they qualify to win the 2012 program patch. At the $1,500 incentive level, scouts can take advantage of a $50 gift card for either Target or Walmart. At the $2,000 incentive level, there's an awesome camping package this year, as well as a remote control helicopter. At the $3,000 incentive level, a Kindle Fire or $150 in American Express gift checks. With the council incentives, there's the GCC prize program, which is optional, of course. Weekly fill-up sheet prize drawings, as you saw earlier with the marshmallow shooters. Watiki Water Park passes, and that was a big success, I believe, last year. Rapid City Rush Scout Night is coming up here shortly, and then there's the VIP package and that. Pizza parties, as well as top-selling scouts. Some ideas, build on the Camp Masters and Council incentives. Design your own prize program. Blitz days or extra miler celebrations and prizes for top sellers. Your Blitz day could be on the first day of the sale, or you could have the extra miler on the last day of the sale. Top selling scouts, unit movie day. Hermosa now has the new drive-in open, so take everyone out there to enjoy an evening at the movies. Barbecues, pizzas, ice cream parties. Now, this is just letting you know that Ramsey supported council growth since 2009 at 21.4%. I'm just going to quickly go through the product line for this year. A lot of it is the same as what was last year. We do have something new you'll see towards the end here. The three-way premium tin is going to be available, and this is on a take order only. The three-way cheesy cheese popcorn tin is also going to be available. 24-pack movie theater extra water microwave popcorn, as well as a 24-pack variety microwave. Supreme caramel corn with the almond, pecans, and cashews, as well as the chocolatey caramel corn, which is a take order only. The 20-pack snack size, 94% fat-free microwave. And then the 15-pack extra buttery roasted summer corn microwave, as well as the 14-pack sweet and salty kettle corn microwave. And then the $10 items are going to be the caramel corn, as well as the gourmet popping corn. If someone's interested in helping out the military but don't want to take on the extra calories, they can do the military donation, and this is on the take order only. And then the new item this year is for $25, a 20-pack nacho cheese microwave popcorn. And I believe we have it in the back, we just don't have a sample available. Oh. And so are there any questions around the popcorn line this year? All right, well, I'm going to turn it over to Sweet Pea and Dave.
By the way, I'm Sweet Pea, that's Dave. Good morning. And we're with PAC 16, and I'm also with Troop 16. have toys in both levels. So we've been through this program many, many times. And what we're going to do is talk to you about what we do as far as getting good popcorn sales at our both levels, at PAC level and troop level. Want to go over the numbers that we've done?
Sure. Yeah, just a thing before. This is obviously something before we did the show and sell orders, which obviously helped. 2005 we had 8,500. 2006 we jumped up to 16,000 in sales. Next couple years were slowed down. At 2007 and 8 we're at 13, 11. We started picking up a bunch. Our program, we really had some stuff going on in our pack. We promoted it more. We tried to get people to sell more. I mean, we'd have more program in our pack instead of just here's your stuff. We actually had a meeting. We showed them how to sell, started getting into it. 2009, we were up to 17,000 in sales. 2010 is the first year we did the show and sell orders. This is the third year of it. The first year combined sales were at $28,000 in sales. So that's adding $10,000 just in show and sell. It's just how well the program worked. Last year, the reason why we're up here helping out is because we were the top pack or top unit in the council. Last year we sold $33,765 worth of popcorn. We can tell you for an honest fact, the biggest part of that is show and sell. I mean, without that, it was so easy. You have your product, you're there, you're doing it. You don't have the extra time of going door to door to sell it. Your product's sold, and you're done. I mean, it's just, and it's a big part of it too is we set up a program, we had a plan, we told our kids, and we had a big meeting before we started our popcorn sales. Instead of set a pack meeting or troop meeting, here's your stuff, we actually had a separate meeting just for it. We had a kickoff party. We did our program to get everybody interested, know what they did, and it was a good time to answer questions of why we did it. So, I mean, but that was the big part of getting our sales up that high.
And really, the big part of it is, sure, the kids go out and do all the selling, but you got to have a really good, strong parental support team behind you. From the very beginning, when we go pick up the popcorn, if you're going to be picking up a lot of popcorn, you need to set up a transportation team to go get the popcorn, so it all gets delivered to one spot. We've been fortunate that we've built up our numbers pretty significantly in the last few years. So a lot of times you'll get your parents together and say, okay, everybody get your pickups, let's go get the popcorn from wherever your distribution place is. Sometimes that's a little hard. So what we've done the last couple of years is, granted it costs about $50, but we go rent a U-Haul truck. Okay? Just take it to the distribution center. Everything there is wrapped for you on pallets already when you get there. You just load in the back of your truck, take it to someone's garage, dump it off. It's easy, it's done. Just makes that so much simpler. And then that person, whoever's your popcorn kernel arranging that distribution center there, take some time, go to those pallets, separate all your $10 tins in this pallet, and this pallet, your other product. That way, when you distribute your popcorn on Saturday mornings or Friday nights, it's an easy task. It goes out, it comes back in. As long as you keep the communication system going smooth, the product distribution going smooth, it makes everything so much easier when you finally get to your show and sell and say, okay, now we're ready to go. So if you get a good support of parents that are willing to do that on the Saturday mornings for that 3 weeks that we're really strong selling, it just makes everything so much easier. Okay? And then when it comes back, it just goes back on those pallets and you inventory it in and inventory it out. And if you can just use your, did we get the inventory sheets for the packets?
Inventory sheets.
With the popcorn, so when the kids go door to door and they, you know.
Oh, their take order forms?
Yeah.
Those are out in front.
Okay. We use those as for inventory in and out, so we know how much is going out of that particular product and how much came back in of that particular product too, and the money that went in and out. It's a good little tool. You don't have to create anything. Don't make it rocket science. Use the tools that are given to you. The program's been proven successful. Just use those little tools and they'll help you get your product in and out. Okay? So as long as you communicate with your parents, this is how we do it. This is how it comes back in. It makes it so much easier.
And that communication part too is obviously use your kernel from your unit, but then obviously they're not going to be at every show and sell, so there's a communication chain. Try to have, you have to have a 1 leader at each one. Have them people communicating good, talking about who's leading this group of show and sell, who's going to be there, knowing what your product is, how much you have to sell, and that way keep, like I said, that an inventory of what you're doing. That's how we split it up. Is we basically had a total product, how much we're going to do, how many show and sells, divide it up equally, and so that's what that show and sell got to sell was, and the variety of everything. But it was, like I said, communication on the inventory, so you knew what you're going to get at each time and who was going to run that cell.
And I always have just suggestions. I always have one person in charge of money. So the kids aren't putting in the pockets and then pulling out things to show and sell. Have one person with a zipper bag from a bank, whatever it may be, and that person, every order is taken, the money is brought to them. Then they can put it in there, and there's never a question about who has money in their back pocket or shirt pocket, whatever it may be. The money comes to one source, okay?
The 30-minute popcorn sale, or kickoff, that's kind of what I was talking to. The activity, the plan with parents, you know, why we're selling. That's a big reason is you're going to have this year a lot of Tigers coming in. You have some first-year scouts that don't know why you sell popcorn. That's the time to have this big meeting, tell them what we're doing, why you're selling popcorn. I mean, why does the program need sales? Door prizes and games for people who are there, you know, just keep them excited. It's supposed to be a fun atmosphere, keep everybody interested, because it's, you guys at this meeting, it's early Saturday morning, you're going to have this at nighttime, you want to keep everybody going, excited why we're there. Incentives, tell the kids why we're doing this, you know, what they get out of it, have some of this stuff sitting here, tell them what the prizes are going to be. If you're, not every unit is going to use that prize program, but if you are, tell them about it, have it there. Role play with your scouts so they're ready to sell. That's been my job in our pack. We have, everybody's there, go through a basic meeting, and we take the parents on one part and give them the specifics, parts of the sales, why we're doing it. I take the kids to a different area with a couple of leaders, and we make a game out of learning the speech that we heard from Peyton at the beginning of it. We train that to every scout in our pack. And that's something we do, make it a game, all the kids in the group, practicing it back and forth. And it's 4 lines. It's easy to remember by the end of it, you know, if every kid knows it by heart or say it in their sleep. But when we get it down and everybody uses that exact one, when you're out on the show and sell, that's what they do. When you go door to door, that's the speech. So we just make a game out of it. Teach them it, you know, step by step. By half hour, all the kids can do it. They come upstairs, show their parents how that they're ready to sell. They have their speech. And, I mean, the speech works. If Peyton showed, these guys would go. It's definitely a good selling market, and it says everything you need to in 4 lines, and the kids don't have to think about what they're going to say. Then pick a seller from previous years for a surprise cream pie toss. We did it at the end of the year. I think we did our blue and gold banquet this year. We had it, our top seller. Jen was our Cub Master last year, so she ate a nice big face full of cream pie last year.
Twice.
Yeah. It's a fun thing. It's winning a prize is something great, but how often you get to take a big cream pie and shove it in your Cub Master's face? You know, it's something. It's another goal to get. It's something fun for kids that you look forward to. And she loved it too. I mean, who doesn't like a face full of cream? I guess next we got to refer to your popcorn sale guidebook. That's all your instructions, your rules, their basic setup of that guidebook. They mapped it out. This is a national company. They know how to sell popcorn. That's why they put this book off, is to help you guys, give you the basic plan, you know. Because nobody wants to sit at home and figure out their own plan of how to sell popcorn. Follow their guidebook because it works. Customize a kickoff presentation. Kind of what we're doing, telling you here. You know, have something, kick off your group, do a party, and that's what we give the prize off, the stuff off the side, the balloons, the crepe paper, popcorn. Make it a party, have something fun. You know, do something custom with it. You know, use your imagination, however you guys want to sell your popcorn. If you have any left over from last year, have some samples. You know, show people what they're going to sell, and invest a little in your kickoff, reap huge rewards. And that's, like I said, have some popcorn, have some stuff out there, do some prizes that night that you're going to have your unit to do it. And it's, you know, if you get the kids interested right off the bat, show them stuff. The biggest thing for ours is the reward, the big rewards, show them what they're going to win for selling popcorn. They're going to go out and sell popcorn.
I was just, Sweepy's boy Trevor, one of the big prizes is that Kindle Flyer. So I just asked him what books he's going to order, but I just assume he's going to win that. That's hands down. He's our top seller. He goes out and knocks it out every year. And those kids see that big prizes, that they're actually attainable. And so, you know, a lot of our kids have iPods and all this stuff that they've won through this system. It's a nice little The kids get it before Christmas. It's a nice little gift. So show that it can be done by the kids in their troop or in their pack.
Successful kickoffs. So yeah, more of the party stuff. Dress up the room, make it fun. Door prizes and snacks. Set the popcorn. I mean, I bet you some of you people in here still have a pack or two of popcorn left over from last year you didn't get eaten. Especially some of the top seller kids. You got any popcorn left at home? No? You ate it all? Want some of mine? I think I got 4 boxes left. Somebody in my house likes kettle corn. Plan to have the boys play fun games to get excited in the creative part, and that's part of what we did. Like I said, when we were teaching the speech, we were using had balls and throwing them back and forth, and she'd throw the ball to the kid, and he had to say the line. Yep. And then he'd throw it to somebody else, and they'd do the next line to start learning the thing. It's just to make it a fun environment. Instead of sitting in a classroom and making them do it, it's having a fun way of doing it, you know. And then the first one to say the whole thing without any, problems, they got, a candy bar or something that night. Just an incentive to learn. It was just making it fun. Review your unit's calendar for the year and everything that's part of the scouting plan. So that's part of it too, what you're going to be doing after you're, having your program set up, you know what you're going to do for your popcorn sales. But then that's also going to be one of your first big meetings of the year because it's right after school starts. It's a good time to go over your calendar for the year and get it and realize, because that's when your take order, when it's going to be coming in, when you got to have your sales turned in, when the product's going to show up. There's a whole schedule of events there you got to follow, so everybody kind of knows the basic plan for the next 3 months of popcorn sales. When is all these deadlines? Unit goal and goal for individual scout. One of the things I know we had to have every unit's got to have the budget turned in. Obviously your budget is based on your goal, how much popcorn you need to sell to pay for your next year of stuff. Popcorn sales, Jen mentioned it right off the bat. Popcorn sales will fund your entire year of scouting. If you get out there and sell popcorn, it's 3 months total by the time we start this meeting till you sell the popcorn and done. You don't have to do other fundraisers if everybody goes out and sells their popcorn. It's a goal. Individual goals for the scout is obviously how much can they sell for how many prizes they can get and how much funding they can get for their activities throughout the next year. Scout accounts is one that not everybody uses. It has a scout account explaining what the money's earned for popcorn sales. And that's your individual scout goals. I know some packs don't have a scout account, which is kids get a percentage of what they sold go into an account set aside for them. The pack holds the money, but that's used throughout the year to pay for their program. It's our pack uses it. Each kid gets a percentage of their sales, and that's what we pay for. They pay for their uniforms out of, or going to camp, day camps. That's what that money is set aside for them, is for scouting events.
Does everybody have scout accounts?
You might not using a scout account. Okay. Are you interested? Do you know how it works? Are you interested in it? I mean, anybody have questions about it? It works well for us. I mean, they get a percentage. Like 5% of their sales goes into the account for them, and so especially like your kids coming in that don't have the money to buy a full uniform, sell popcorn for the first couple months, and at the end of it, they get the percentage, and it should be enough to buy a complete uniform.
Yeah, my only thing on the downside of doing Scouts account is just a whole nother set of administration. We don't really have real strong, we have a treasury.
Yeah, your treasurer does have to take care of more of that. You're not setting up a savings account for each kid. It's just out of it, you're just noting that this much is set aside for that kid. A percentage of the pack total money is for that kid, for that scout.
So like for me, I'm going to my 7th year here now. I have not paid for a scout thing. Everything's come out of popcorn sales. I just got back this morning. I've been for the last week. I just go back this morning from Medicine Mountain for Boy Scout camp. But all the way from when my son was a Tiger to now he's a first-year Boy Scout, and my other little son's just starting. He was a Tiger last year, moving up. We've never paid anything out of a checkbook. Everything's come out of our scout account. I've never paid for anything else scout-related that hasn't come out of our popcorn money. So if you get out and bust your rear and get that popcorn done, you don't pay for anything. The way ours is set up, I have never bought a uniform outright, books, all the lost slides that we've lost over the years, all that stuff. You know, I've never paid for anything. I haven't paid for camp. I haven't paid for myself to go to camp. Everything's always been paid through out of popcorn money. And if they get out and just really tear it up for those 3 weeks, you skate for the rest of the year. You know, that's why we don't have to do the other fundraisers. It's easy. It's a good program. They have it well designed for it, so you can use it. Yes.
So then when a Cub Scout goes to the troop then, does that money follow them in your
In our troop,
situation?
we pass along with the boy if he goes into the troop.
And that's a year pack for
You gotta
troop
decide your
decision.
pack.
Yeah, we did it, in some years we've done all of it, and then we had some kids that didn't use their money, they didn't go to camps, and so we cut it back to a certain amount that transferred over. But yeah, we do write a check that goes to whatever troop they're going to, so they have a starting point for that money. You know, but like I say, it's your guys' decision on how you run it, but they've earned the money from selling, it's in their account, so it should, you know, some of it at least should go up to being with the troop. Because you start off, I mean, Dave tell you, start off in the troop, you're broke again if you don't have that money, so you should have your uniform from being a second year Eagle, but as far as the first camps, the first activities, you know, like transfer that over right into your troop account, so you don't have to be fundraising first, second year doing it, just to be able to have any fun with the rest of the troop.
But there are no big set national guidelines for it, whatever your troop individually does.
No.
Yes.
Technically doesn't, we've even allowed our boys to, if they need to buy a tent and a mess kit, they submit the receipt to the treasurer, they can take it back out of their account.
We consider it scout-related items. So if you need a new sleeping bag, go to Shields, get a sleeping bag, you know, turn your receipt back in and get it. But we didn't set it off with no pocket knives or BB guns or bow and arrows, or it's a camping accessory, you know, not a bicycle, not a new goldfish. It's, you know.
And also, when we did our spring program at the school, getting new scouts to come in, you get a large amount of scouts, and we go do our, you know, scout day. A lot of kids come in, and then that whole summer they participate with us in our limited scouting activity during the summer. And they want to buy a scout uniform right away. So what we tell them to do is, please go down to the scout shop, buy your uniform, save your receipt. Okay? Then when our popcorn sales are done, bring your receipt back, we'll reimburse you for your uniform. So even when you start out with nothing, you still get the opportunity to get it paid for. Okay? So we don't want money to be the issue why you don't do scouting. And this popcorn is the driving force that allows you to do all scouting activities and not have to dig out your pocket. Just got to do a little sweat equity.
Because there's so many events and things and activities that we do in scouting year-round that you can't make it to every activity. Don't want the big thing about not going, trying to keep your kid wants to do is can't afford it. You know, so that's why we do it. Is that way you can make sure your money's there to do every activity you can.
Next slide.
Review the different selling techniques with parents. Take order, how to cover your neighborhood. It's one of the things we're set up a plan and find your neighborhood to do it in. So you know the area, drive through it once, so you know where some stuff's at. Don't get lost on streets. You can't figure out how to get back to your car when you're out walking. Encourage your parents to leave behind the card, thank you cards when delivering popcorn. I know that was on, I believe, the website. They have one.
Yeah, there's actually thank you cards you can get off the website, and this year, by popular demand, we created a leave behind piece, which you do not want to put in mailboxes. But if you want to leave those on doors of homes that you visit where the people aren't home, and there's places on there where the scout can customize information that he'll be either back in the neighborhood or he'll put his first name on there and a contact number of the parent if that customer wants to call up and request popcorn if they're not going to be there at the home the next time they're coming by. So hopefully that'll help increase sales for the kids.
We've done it every year. When you get up to selling $3,000 to $4,000 of popcorn and you're writing out a thank you note for everyone, it's kind of a challenge for your kid to sit down and write a thank you every time. So print out the sheet. It says thanks for ordering, whatever, and we always have him custom. He signs everyone, puts his signature on the bottom, which is still a couple-week event of doing 50, 60 a night just to get it done, depending on what you sell. But we've gone back to people the next year, and they recognize you, and they'll even say that thank you card or something reminded them, knowing that we're going to be back next year to sell you popcorn again. I mean, it's a big thing to say thanks for it. It's a little something. All we do on that is take a piece of tape it to the top of the tin or the box when we deliver. We just ring the doorbell, here's your popcorn, because it's just as much time delivering almost as just selling. So just the thank you note says everything on it. Just here's your popcorn you ordered, thanks again, and leave, and they can read that and know what it's for, what's going on. Remind parents to take a take order form to work. That's right. Your kid does not have to do all the selling. Take it to work. Pass it around. Every business has their own rules of selling, how you can do that. So check with your bosses first so it's not getting in trouble with that. And another personal thing that we did is we take our kids through work. Let everybody know who your kid is in his uniform. Tell them you're going to be selling popcorn, but instead of making the big speech there, this is why I'm selling popcorn, is my kid in uniform. And then for the next couple of weeks, have that order form sitting there and just talk to the people at work. You know, don't make him go spend 6 hours with the people in your office selling them. Just say, he's here, now this is what we're doing. But have it at work, set it at a coffee table, pass it around to the people. I mean, it's any way you can sell popcorn that helps you guys out. So.
In my office, in the break room, I take that take order sheet, go to the break room, put it down there, all the information they need to fill it out, pop some popcorn in the microwave, put a bowl out in front of it. That popcorn smell through the office will get them down there. It really does. It works fabulously. It really does. And
a lot of offices like that. If you know somebody too, if you have, you know, one of your parents or you know, somebody got an aunt and uncle in town that want to help, have an office, do that too. You know, same thing. Just you said popcorn. We have one that we can't do the popcorn at because one of the managers doesn't like the smell of popcorn. So we personally ask him first if he'll buy popcorn every year. And so I'm pushing things, say, hey, can't we do it? He won't buy it. No, you still can't pop it. But it's, you know, businesses like that. That's where we'll take a tin of it in or something, so that instead of popping and getting the smell, it's still there. And the take order form is there. On top of it, it'll say who you're selling, what the kid's name is, what your unit is, and there's a line on there what their goal is, what they want to do. That's important if you're going to leave one sitting out, so they know who it's for, what they're doing. They realize that this scout's trying to get to a certain point in sales or why they're doing it. You know, it's an incentive program and why we're trying to do it. Online selling of popcorn, we've talked about before, it is a little more to pay for the shipping of it, but it does help. I mean, contact your family. Everybody's using email. Send out a family email to everybody in your family. Tell them, my kid's selling popcorn. When you sign up for it, it's a pretty lengthy code, whatever, to get to their account number to know who's getting it. But just send that out so people can buy popcorn, because you got family all over the country, as Jen said, they can buy popcorn and it goes to your kid account here for the council. Those are total sales. You don't have to have a family reunion to sell popcorn. You can just email somebody and have it done that way. Incentives for Scouts can earn unit-specific incentives for the GCC program. All the units I know have done all their own custom stuff, gone to Walmart or whatever and just bought prizes for themselves and done it. You don't have to have their program, but it is a good program. There's a lot of good prizes there. Camp Master program, we see. What?
I was just wondering, when you cover the neighborhood, what if you have more than one kid selling in your little neighborhood? What do you suggest?
It's a free-for-all system. You can sell anywhere you want. First person to the door wins. Yes, be nice about it. Somebody's there selling. You see them going down the sidewalk. Go the next block away. Don't race them to the door. But that's a question we have from new people. If you're from Hot Springs and everybody's there selling, you know somebody in Sturgis, go park in front of their door, sell in Sturgis. There's no district, there's nowhere selling where you can sell popcorn.
yeah, because there's areas of town that do not have scouts. So if you go out to, where do you go?
I go to Westside Rapid, where you'd think there'd be people selling popcorn. First year we went out there, Trevor and I went out, and that's where we did, his first year as a Tiger was over $2,000 in sales.
And we're from Piedmont Valley.
Yeah, we're from Piedmont. We went into Westside Rapid.
Okay.
Just picked a neighborhood between my sister's house and his grandma's house. Nobody had been there in 5 years.
Like, I live out in Somerset, okay? A lot of scouts that are in Somerset. We just kind of do this gentleman's agreement that my boys do these certain streets this way, and they do these here and these here. And that's just kind of been good. The show and sells is going to be the big impact of your sales. The door-to-door does a a good amount of money, but it's those show and sell. So, you know, don't step on anybody's toes selling if they're kind of in that area, but don't be afraid to venture out and go some. We have lots of areas that don't have scouts that sell much.
Find an area, figure out where people are at, you know, look around. And with the first weekend of selling, go drive through some neighborhoods and see where you see some scouts at. Figure out, well, they're already selling, or find a different area. Like I said, it's just one of the things we fell upon an area where nobody had been there for 5 years, and we knocked on doors, and people were excited to see scouts selling popcorn. You know, and I figured Westside Rapid would have had a lot of people there. There wasn't anybody there, so you don't know just because of an area that you think. Try different areas, go somewhere else. Talk to your pack. That's your troop. That first meeting, have people get up and say, "This is where we sell," kind of, so your pack can organize where you're going to sell. You know, cover somebody else, and then maybe get an idea of where nobody's been yet in a couple of years.
We even got a lot of calls last year from Rapid Valley, especially that new development out there in Rapid Valley that hadn't had anybody come around.
Yep. New family, yeah. New developments could have new families that don't have kids yet, so maybe there's no scouts living out there.
We also made an absolute killing. Military really likes scouts, okay? Some of the subdivisions out by the base don't have scout troops, some of them. You go out there in a scout uniform, and when you got all the people in the military typically live close to the base, that's a no-brainer. They love it. And then what we find out a lot is a lot of those guys work scouts in their younger days too, and they really want to support scouts. And we do have a strong relationship with the military, with the scouts. So hit those areas. They're easy money.
The council incentive and recognition events. Council incentives is the fill a sheet, right? And then there's the weekly. That's the weekly drawing. That's where the marshmallow shooters, I don't know what other prize they have, but it's, so every time your kid fills a sheet up, take it into Liz, the council, or whoever's working council that day, put your name in the drawing. It's a weekly prize drawing. It's not a how much did you sell, it's if you filled out a sheet, 25 sales, you get your name in for another prize drawing. And who doesn't want marshmallows flying over their house? But it's another great thing. It's a fun activity. It's something else for the kids to say, hey, you know, it's, you know, Sunday afternoon, kids getting tired, you got 3 left, 3 more sales today, you get your name in the drawing, you could have a chance at another prize. You know, it's an incentive thing. It's to keep them going. It's motivation.
And several boys get that each week. It's not just
right.
one.
Yeah, they do. The council does a great job with prizes. I mean, we got a couple of them over the years. There's some good prizes there. It wasn't just marshmallow shooter. There was a virtual cars and different things. They do some cool prizes, and it's just something else to help do it. Solid communication plan. Help your parents understand what is in it for my scout. And that's kind of a talk about why you do it. Besides your scouts, like we did the scout account, selling popcorn, what is percentage of the council? I don't remember how much the council makes off their percentage of sales. It's a big percentage a big percentage of popcorn sales goes to the council.
The council we get 30%.
Right, and that funds a huge amount of council activities. We've had parents in the past saying, well, instead of selling popcorn, can I just put that much money in my scout's account and have him do the prize and do the program that year? It really doesn't benefit anybody but your scout, which hurts the rest of the scouting program. So selling popcorn funds the council. That keeps all your activities going. It keeps everybody in scouting. It helps everybody do it. All scouts should have an opportunity to earn their way. Once again, they sell popcorn, they do activities. They don't have to earn any extra money to do it. You know, sell the popcorn, and you get to go to summer camp, you get to go to day camps. You know, like the rush night that we talked about, that, you know, we pay for that out of it. That costs money to go to. Put that in your scout account, or say, well, even set up every kid in your pack has to sell $500 in popcorn as your basic goal to cover all your activities. That way they can go to the rush night. Or go to the lock-in they do at the YMCA. You know, them kind of activities are fun for the kids. It's not scouting, it's not so much learning, you know, doing scouting events. It's just a fun time, and that's part of scouting is having fun. Selling popcorn can get you there, you know, having to, you know, spend money out of your pocket to go. It's not just raising funds, it's an important chance to learn things and help them grow. I know that from experience too. My kids are a little shy. going door to door, you standing there helping them, kind of gets them talking to people. You know, it's a life lesson how to be able to be a salesman, being able to go up to a strange door, knock on it, try to sell them something and be able to talk. That's one thing that speech did. You don't not stammer through what you're doing. They open the door and you have the speech ready, they memorize it. It's an icebreaker there. But it's a good thing for, you know, get out in the community, talk to some people. It's something else for your kid to learn how to do, and you're going to need to do it in life. Scouts will be learning how to speak to adults, gain confidence, basic business principles, many other useful skills. I guess my big one there would be confidence. Every time you make a sell, they're willing to go to the next door and sell again. You know, it's a big thing to do it. You get a couple people saying no, the next one should be a yes, because the majority of people are going to say yes door to door. And it's a confidence booster to have it, you know. We did it before, had a contest, see, you know, between us we're walking door to door. How many, you know, think this guy will buy, think that guy will buy. Maybe we can get, you know, it's a confidence thing. Maybe I can do a good enough sell, get 5 doors in a row. Everybody will buy popcorn. It's kind of a game you play as you go down the street, but it's a confidence thing. Yeah, I can do this, you know. I can sell popcorn. By the end of the day, we've had a couple afternoons where he didn't want to go home yet. I said, can you stop for a hamburger, go back out and sell some more? It's like, no, it's 8:30, it's Sunday night, let's go home. It's one thing where they like, you know, if you get out and do it, find a neighborhood, and you got the good plan where you can sell popcorn, they're willing to go sell. You know, I've had him wake me up before. Can we go sell popcorn, Dad? It's time to go. Yeah, let's go. The handout communicates unit-specific Scout information.
Basically what that is, Sweet Pea, is instead of all of the Scouts getting a leader's guide, we wanted to put it on to where the units create their own cell with their own guidelines.
Okay. Yeah, names and dates in there, just your guideline for it, your goals and incentives, contact information, it's a good sheet. Contacts is a big one, so you know who to call. Show and sell, especially. You have to set up a 4-hour show and sell somewhere, and 2 hours into it, and you're almost out of product. What do? Have some information, have somebody to contact. Can we get some more stuff? Are you done for the day, or can somebody run and get you another, you know, pick up load of product to sell the show and sell? Or if you have questions on door-to-door sales, so you have a question about a product that you don't know, you should have some information with you. Contact your colonel, somebody in, you know, in your pack that knows this information to help you out with. Promote the sale, your unit's website, regular emails to parents. Like I said, get it out there, the information out there that's popcorn and sale time. Most people know that it's popcorn sale time because it's also everybody else's sale time for school events and sporting events. But let people know, get it out there. You know, it's that time to sell, but popcorn's a big thing for scouting, and, you know, scouting is a really good, you know, thing to help support, to buy popcorn from, support it. So get it out there, information, people know. Send emails to your friends too, family. Facebook. Popcorn sale time. It worked for me last year. I did a Facebook post on it, and I had a couple guys, yeah, come find me, we'll buy some, you know, just because they didn't have anybody in the neighborhood. So, TV and radio commercials. I don't know if council's doing any of it. Imagine soon. So council will be putting it out there. That's a bonus for everybody. They do it. It's already promoting your sales. Let people know about it. Billboards, postcards, e-blasts. I mean, there's lots of ways to do it, but I mean, if your PAC wants to do something, that's the other thing. Your charter organization, if you're at a church or one building or something, let people there know that put a flyer out. We're selling popcorn. You know, find a scout in the area that is at this organization. It gets to be a tricky thing, but kids in school selling to teachers, you know, try to set up some basic guidelines for that. If you're selling, you know, sell to your teacher only type thing, or other people, school bus drivers. Yeah, I mean, it's a first come, first serve, but, you know, I guess at your first meeting, tell your kids, instead of one kid running through school getting every teacher the first day, give everybody that chance to sell. But then, you know, also older kids and, you know, high school, all got teachers there, so it's for the troops. There's lots of teachers, and they all want to help support your kid too. I mean, put it out there wherever you're at. Other sporting events you go to. You know, if your kid's in another sport, tell the other team parents that you're with. Let them know that, hey, my kid's a Scouts, sell popcorn. It's wherever you get the information out is going to help more sales. And use the Camp Masters updated website. What's that one?
Just for information, sharing information.
Okay.
It's a lot better than what it was last year.
Okay. I know I had a problem with it last year, so I never used it. But, I know Camp Masters tries. That's why they sent out the guy last couple of years to do a program to sell. Camp Masters wants to help us. They've got a lot. They've spent a lot of money figuring out how to help us sell more popcorn. Obviously, it helps their business out, but they're interested in scouting. They want to help us. They know it's our program, so they want to do whatever they can to help us sell some popcorn. Anything on that one?
They do go the extra mile for us too, you guys. Since they started in the industry, we were one of the very first councils that ever went with them. So they have a soft place in our heart for us whenever we need anything.
That if you really don't know, the guy that did it was set up the program. He had several Scouts at home. So he was a professional salesman. He set up this program. So the speech that Peyton told us at the beginning, it's something that he wrote because he knew how to be a salesman, but he wrote it for scouting. And you know, it worked. It's a good program. It's a good speech. So I mean, Camp Masters likes us. We like them. Who doesn't like popcorn, right? Dave's got a few more points we're going to cover too.
Last weekend, Sweet Pea, myself, and another leader from our troop or pack, the pilgrimage will be coming up. So we had to go and re-walk our trail to tag the trees, so we knew where we were going when we walked behind Mount Rushmore in a couple months here. So as we're walking along, we brainstormed. Okay? And we just came up with things that aren't on the normal presentation that we found to be very helpful with us. Scheduling for the show and sells. Try to get a good mix of different ages at the show and sells. The older kids can help with the product, help get the money to the coordinator. The little kids, they're your sales tools. Get those little guys out there. They're so cute in their little blue uniforms, and they get right in front of people and give that speech. And when they give their speech, get their hands out of pockets, okay? They want to put them in there. They walk up so little and all that stuff. And that's one of the things in the sales presentation. When the boys this morning were talking about delicious popcorn that ran on and on, the best thing to do, if that's your product right there, have that boy stand on the side of the product, talk to the customers, and when he says delicious popcorn, get those arms going. He should be going, delicious popcorn. And when he does that, it breaks all, no one can say no. It's just so cute and fun, and they're right there, and once he gets in there, then the older kids can help with the sell and show what they have to sell. But if they get those arms going, movement, and your pack is active when people are coming up to Family Thrift or wherever it may be, it's fabulous. Staging of the popcorn. You want no cardboard selling. Do not sell cardboard boxes. Get all the product out of those boxes. Get it stacked high. Nice big. If you have 2 doors, get a nice big pyramid in front of the door. Don't put all your little stuff right in front. Get some of your middle range prices, your $20 and your $25. Don't put all that easy $10 stuff in the front, okay? You got to not only have sales, you got to build your ticket up. Get it big. So that the older boys can say, you know, we have this, 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 this. You know, your last resort is selling the $10 caramel and the $10 raw popcorn, okay? Try to get that bigger ticket stuff selling there, okay? When you go
have your boys also know your product when you do it. Say, hey, will you help us out buying some popcorn? Have them know what the popcorn is. Let them see what the product is. Before you do it, one of our things is we've had at least every show and sell 2 guys come up and say, yeah, I'll buy popcorn, and ask whatever kid, what's your favorite? If they don't know, we've had guys say, well, if you don't even like your own popcorn, I'm not going to buy from you. So go to the next kid. What's your favorite? Have them know the product, have them like it, tell them what they want. And let them do the selling after, will you? And they say, what do you got? And the kid has a blank spare and comes back and leader, so what kind of popcorn do we have? It's a selling thing. Have your kid know your product. Have them go back and show them all your boxes, all your stuff. And there again, it's a sales technique. Show them the big thing first. Look at this big $40 tin full of popcorn. Well, yeah, we got $10 stuff too, but get the big one. Have your kids on the fun.
And build up price.
Right. Get the big stuff up front. Have them show that. There's a lot of choices, but said mix it around so you got everything stacked around. But have your kids know your product, so when somebody asks for something, they know what the box looks like. They know what it is. They kind of tell them how much it is. I mean, The younger kids are going to have some help, but at least have them a clue of what they're selling and let them know what's going on.
In addition to that, just to add on, because I don't know if you guys did this at your show and sells you're in charge of, but for PAC 16, knowing the product, one of the things we did do was we took a magic marker and wrote on the corner of the little boxes of how much that item costs, because you don't want those kids to have those take order sheets flopping around and having them hold on to it when they're talking to somebody. You want to get rid of the papers. So right on the corner of the box, or even the cardboard box, have it written on that just as a reference so that they know right away how much that product costs and they're not referring back to that sheet of paper and having that out and in the way.
Another good way of doing that, now the nacho cheese is going to screw us up a little bit this year, but on the boxes, typically if it's $5 increments, if one of the boxes has 14 packets of popcorn in it, it's a $15 item. The 20 pack are $20 item. You can use that. So if they look at the number on the box also, that'll give them a pretty good shot of what the price is. Now, the popcorn tins, the little tins, they don't. So that's a good, we can help them with that. But when you start talking popcorn, if they see that number, you can relate it to the closest $5 increment. That'll help them out also. We talked about practice your sales script. Just get them so comfortable. So, because that's going to be a big moment when that first person comes up in front of that store. Practice, practice, practice. Also, adults don't sit, kids don't sit, okay? Split them up into equal groups. Make sure you know the personalities of your kids. You get your kids that are going to play too much, don't group them together. Put them out there. Get some of your kids that are your personalities to help out the other kids, lift them up, okay?
If you have 2 kids, 2 boys in your pack, you know, you have 2 boys in there and they're the same show and sell, obviously, don't have them sell together because they're brothers. They're going to have a problem. Put them with another kid. But know their personalities. Say, put a younger with an older, put a group, you know, pair them up. Or if they're all out, just kind of, you know, segregate them out where there's a cover an area. Have them next to somebody that they can have fun with and talk to, another kid when they're slow. But then also they can help each other. Put a Weeble with the Tiger Cub. Yep. You know, just to kind of cover all the bases if there's any questions coming in.
Popcorn in the middle, kids on the outside, also have an adult on each side too, because you're going to have to tell things. Kids really lose. You got to put, when you're doing your scheduling, they wear out after 2 hours. You need to switch them out. Yep. They start to lose it. One of the things that we do for motivating, Brian Jenner is one of our leaders. He has an exercise program that gets these kids going. We get them to there and right away says, okay guys, let's start doing exercise. We do calisthenics. We're jumping in front of the store, running around, getting all this stuff going before we sell. When we start seeing them drop down a little bit, we have some catchphrases, things that, you know, get them back up to have them do it. Bring a few bucks, also bring a donation jar, okay? When our kids start losing their energy, you know, sugar's a great thing. Go and buy some snacks for them. Let them go get an ice cream bar or something like that. Something to give them a little break. Also, when you're in front of the stores, when you get there in the morning, go talk to the manager right away. Make sure he knows you're at the store. Ask for a broom or bring one with you. Show that you want to clean up your area before you start selling. When all your product's gone, and keep your area clean while you're doing it. Then when you're done, go back and clean it back up. Tell them, you know, go back and thank him. Just don't be that anonymous group that comes in and disappears and no one knows what happened. That helps us for the next year. You know, we keep coming back every week and we keep it nice and clean. Let's see. But don't even bring any chairs or tables. No tables. We don't sell off tables either. Stack it nice and high. The product's all there. Okay.
The biggest point for that is we had early on a table where the kids are going to try to hide behind a table. You're not going to see just their heads poking over the top. Get them in front. It's like, you know, at the front of the store. Obviously know where the sidewalk and the drive, where cars are going to be at. But get them meet the customer halfway. When they're walking across the street, have them taking 3 or 4 steps up, right to the curb, and meet them right at the curb with their sales pitch. You know, get them walking out there, and then they can walk them right back up to the product. You know, keep your kid moving back and forth. And it's going to attract attention. Other people are going to be seeing what's going on. But yeah.
Make sure their uniforms are neat, crisp. Make sure they get an iron in the morning. They're tucked in. If they're running around and dirt truck coming out, you know, they're representing Cub Scouts. Have them look nice and clean. Everything's sharp. There's nothing more. You know, parents love that. You'll run into a lot of older scouts that have been through. They see that there's a great relationship they have with these kids. They're going to talk about stories they did in the past. Allow them to talk about it, okay? They're always going to buy from you, but if they want to start laying old scout stories, please let them, because I guess what I'm getting at is that when they're there talking, people see it. This is something they can approach. It's just not that, here's your gauntlet of scouts to come in. Okay, so that works out real well. The reason we separate the kids is so we don't get groups, clusters of boys, okay? Also, if this is the doorway, don't have your scout right here. Let the people at least get out of the store. And they'll want to. They'll get aggressive and they'll want to go up and talk to them right away. Give them some distance so that they can start their eye contact and start their speech as the person's approaching them, as opposed to trying to walk with them, trying to get the speech and go, 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 go. And you got to be careful. Some of your kids are going to be a little aggressive. They're going to want that sell. We got a little Kobe with us in ours, and we got to keep him from getting hit by cars. He goes out in the parking lot, and as soon as that shopping cart's coming in, he's, excuse me, man, my name is Kobe. I'm with PAC 16. He's like, my name is Liz. And he has them going the whole way down, and his numbers are fabulous because he's not a shy boy at all to get into those kids. Oh, don't let the boys run in and out of stores. They're there to sell popcorn. Okay? If they have to go to the bathroom, they got to go to the bathroom. You understand that. But none of this run in and find the gumball machines or whatever they're doing. Keep them out there. So once they lose their focus, replace them. You can't keep them going. If they're tired and they've had enough, it's time to get someone else in their place. Okay? So just keep the kids good and fresh. Okay?
Anybody else have any questions? Yeah.
So how do you set up a show and tell? Are they set up by the
we're going to have some of the show and sells for the popular ones. We're going to have a lottery drawing and a schedule for them. If there's one not on that list, contact any of the other businesses you're going to be at. Okay. Council has a list of the ones that they're going to use, and everybody gets a chance, a lottery system. But it's not on that list. It's if you know somewhere else to do it, just set one up. Obviously, it's one of the courtesy phone calls. Be there early, and they said that was one of the things they taught us. That they was just ask for a broom. Tell them you're going to be there early, sweep up. If it's somebody who's never been there before, let them know why you're doing it and kind of give them a basic speech of why we're there. But yeah.
And please, if you do make show and sell reservations with a business, show up. Don't make the reservation and not show up.
What I found as far as inventory levels for us when we go to a show and sell is I was in charge of releasing the inventory out of my garage last year. I would send everything up to $25 in product. I sent 15 pieces of each item. Okay? The tins, I sent about 6 of each of those bigger tins. So make sure, like we talked about before, about having a contact person, a backup person, that if you start selling out of a product, that you get some more of it. And don't, like I said before, don't just push all that little tiny $10 stuff off the bat. Because then you'll be done and you don't have anything to sell it down to. You want to be able to sell it down after sell. Okay?
That $10 tin is great for a confidence booster for your kid. I made a few sales. Like you said, only have a limited number of them, so you sell out of the $10 ones. They've got their sales, they're confident they can sell, but then you got the bigger items to sell out. Get the money roll and say everybody get the $10 one. Because anybody can sell a $10 thing of caramel tin. It's the $25 big packs you're wanting to sell to get your sales up. So have your supply set up that way. And the setup too is when you have your stack set up, mix it all in there so it's not just here's a $10 out front thing. Same reason. It's you want to sell out of that so you can get in your bigger sales at the end of the day, but you also got to have some of your sales, all your sales numbers up there before all the kids burn out too.
When you do your shift changes, make sure you do an inventory count, money count, so there's no questions on what child's getting what. Also, you do your take sale, show and sell. You have 6 kids working that show and sell. Split the money up equally, okay? If a kid's just non-existent, not doing it, then maybe you have to ask them to leave for that moment and try it another day. But you're going to have your shy kids, you're going to have your aggressive kids, your natural salesmen. Make sure it's a team effort so you can build confidence up in the other kids. Just don't say, okay, Johnny, you didn't work very hard today, so you're only going to get 20 bucks today, while Timmy's getting 150 bucks or something like that, okay? They're not going to want to come back to the next one. So build that team spirit. If you have a kid that's just knocking them dead, have them help one of the other kids. Sometimes that peer incentive of having them work with another kid really makes a big difference. So even with our little guys, they were kind of shy sometimes walking up. It worked for us on a couple of kids where we wrote their speech out on a postcard, and it wasn't so bad for them to walk right up to the person. Hi, my name is Logan, and just go right into it. And, after they read about that first line, then that gives them the confidence to look up and make that eye contact. But there was something about having that little confidence in their hand that helped them out a little bit. But no matter if they had that piece of paper, when they went to, that's the fun part, when they went to do this delicious popcorn, they were full confident board then. That little start was a little challenge for them. But make sure they do that. That gets people's attention when you see these kids do this arm thing across. You know, some of our kids, it's a 10-foot thing when they're done. They get it going.
It's a runway. You almost got to backstop so they don't hit the product when they're running up to it. I mean, they get into it. And if you do a 4-hour show and sell, that's the other thing you got to realize. Its first hour is going to be your kids building up confidence, ready to do it. Your middle 2 hours you're going to sell. The last hour, kids are going to be slowing down. You're going to be tired of being there. Just be ready for that curve of the kids to, you know, when your peak sales time is. And know that when you start getting tired, you know, start having them sit back a little bit and have some other kids take advantage of, you know, some more energy if they have it. So, I think we're getting anybody else got any other basic questions on sales techniques or anything?
Okay, I gave away my notes. I want to get you guys out of here because I promised 11 o'clock. So I just wanted to go through these quick basics on the commission. It's the same commission as last year, base commission of 27%. Additional bonus of the 5%, of course, can be reached if you're here today. And that means in order to confirm that you've been here today, make sure that you do sign those sheets at your district check-ins. The fill-out unit roster at the end of the sale, which is just the roster that lists all the kids' names, and then submit one check for the entire order. This is new this year and different. Instead of doing a check with the show and sell and the take order, you're just going to turn in one unit check when you turn in all your forms at the end of the sale. And then that's going to be cashed by the council within that week. That's why we want everybody to make sure you collect all your money ahead of time for all of your orders. So you'll have the funds there in the bank. If there's some crazy thing that happens, please call me and let me know, and I'll put a hold on your check because I don't want anybody's checks bouncing and incurring charges and all that kind of stuff. Again, what I said, have the scout collect money when the order is placed, and because we have gotten return checks without notice before, it costs the council $50, so we need to start charging that back, unfortunately. Sorry about that. The prize program, if you guys do decide it's an optional prize program, we found out that it is really successful more with the Cub Scouts. They're very motivated by the prizes that are offered. That is at a 4% less the commission off that total amount above. New this year, and actually Mike, our Scout executive, is going to be here to announce this today, but he had a conflict and he's really disappointed he can't come. I'm speaking on that for him. It's last year we started out with that incentive, which is the 50% commission incentive. There's a listing of it in your leader's guide that explains it. This year we're going to do the program overhaul and improvement, which means in the council's budget, we have budgeted that from the popcorn sale, we're going to be making X amount of dollars, which this year it happens to be $165,000 to $170,000, depending on how much we put out in prizes, because we can't pin down the exact amount that we'll pay for in prizes. Over and above that amount, the council's not keeping that. We're investing that back into some sort of an event that has to do with program, whether we buy mountain bikes for camp or whether we do improvements on the council building or up at camp. That's what that money will go towards, and we hope to grow on that each year. This is a platform that next year, for 2013, we'll be doing some new incentive. But the people that are involved with the Popcorn Committee, this is why we're trying to grow our committee, are the people that will have the voice in where that fund goes to, what that gets spent on. So if you want to join the Popcorn Committee, let me know, because we need help. Oh, yes. When I went to the popcorn training this year, a lot of units around the United States are now starting to process credit cards through their iPhones and iPads, and there's several different options. There's more than what I even found and put up there that you can use. It's a small investment that, that units make to reap the rewards of having people be able to use their credit cards to purchase popcorn. And from the people that I've talked to, it's really increased their sales tremendously, because a lot of times people don't have is they want to buy more popcorn than the money that they have on hand. So that would be an option that you guys can always look into. We kind of really talked about show and sell already. This year we handled it a little bit different. It's going to be handled through the council. Like we mentioned, there's only specific locations that are on that list. Of course, it's not every place in town. The sign-up sheets are outside, and after I get done with this presentation, I'll be letting people sign up for those events. Those little orange numbers that you guys drew when you first came in, that's how we're going to try and make it fair this year, a lottery kind of thing. Number one is going to get the first choice of shifts, not a whole entire day at that location, but pick a shift at that location, so that we'll be able to spread out the more popular locations with a lot of different units getting a chance to be there instead of one unit has it for the whole entire day. Kevin George, actually, our Director of First Impressions of the Council, is going to be in charge of coordinating this from today on. So if you'd like to give him a call at the council, today everybody's going to sign up for 2 locations. After that, you can call him and he can let you know what's available and you can sign up for more. I'll also try and get that posted on the website, updated periodically so that everybody can kind of see where everybody's at with that. Like I mentioned before, it is very important that if you find that you cannot, an emergency comes up and you can't staff your show and sell location, please let the council know so that we can contact that store and let them know. Or if you guys have made that arrangement, please do that, because it kind of looks bad if they're planning on having us there and then we don't show up. Oh, and there are a couple of locations that we have sold at in the past, and because of people's actions, we are not allowed to sell there anymore. And it's not really the Scouts, it was another scouting organization, but they kind of lumped us all in together. So please, please try to live by the Scout oath and law and set a good example of what awesome kids and people that we are that are involved with this program. You guys all know that. And then there's just a recap of all the important dates, which is the same thing that's in your leader's guide there on, I think it's the 2nd page, and it's also listed on the website. What I'm going to be doing is, August the 15th is the first day that you can start placing your show and sell orders, which are the pre-orders for your show and sell sites. I'm collecting all the forms because I don't have all the forms, obviously, today. And I'll be making all your accounts live as of that date where you can go on there and start placing your show and sells. And then, last but not least, these are all businesses in the area that help us out every year with the popcorn sale. So if you get a chance, give them some business, tell them thank you. We couldn't do it without them. And that's it for today. I'll be out in front for sign-ups for the show and sell. If you guys, might be kind of confusing, but line up by whatever the smallest number first, and we'll get that taken care of. Thank you for coming.